Science is an incredibly powerful force in Western societies. We rely upon science to provide medical cures, to build dams, to do all sorts of things. Yet, science has its limitations. As scientists will tell you themselves, it's not meant to be a moral force.
When people say, what's the interface between religion and science, I think our results have shown that there needs to be a follow-up question, which is, what do you mean by religion and what do you mean by science?
Elaine Howard Ecklund and John Evans are leading a global initiative that seeks to study the relationship between religion and science from a sociological perspective.
Our overarching mission is to create an academic subfield around sociology of religion and science.
Everyone would think, oh, religion and science have different ways of knowing about the natural world. That's what conflict is. And I think it's been well demonstrated that is at best a very limited explanation. So we picked projects where everyone is moving beyond that basic story in some way.
We have sponsored, through that initiative, 17 projects examining all facets of how contemporary people understand the connection or lack of between religion and science globally. We have drilled deep into social location and brought to the table other social identities such as race and gender, for example, and tried to understand how those communities have an understanding of the interface between religion and science, and have realized that the kind of shared history of particular social groups has a huge impact on how they enter the religion and science conversation. Much of the discussion of how religious and scientific communities relate to one another has really been centered in the US. It's really been centered around Christianity, but we have had a set of projects that have taken us outside of the US and outside of Christian communities.
Professor Dede of Santa Clara University is looking at how tech workers in the US and China interface with religion.
These studies show that tech workers are some of the most secular individuals in the US. Tech workers in China may be even more secular due to the state-sponsored atheism there. What is religion for them? Do they perceive conflicts between religion and technology?
Dede's project takes advantage of two features. One, it's a study of a particular workplace, these engineers in Silicon Valley, but it's also cross-national. It's a comparison of people in the United States and in China.
I hope that this work will change people's perceptions on the role that religion plays in the tech sector. Religion matters to the tech sector even more than what I initially expected.
Chris Scheidel and Katie Corcoran of West Virginia University are looking at spiritual practices that don't fit the traditional definition of religion.
The central goal of our project is, when we're talking about religion and science, to expand what we consider in the religion category.
When we think about religion, people often think of belief in God or that you attend church. And this is also how a lot of social scientists think about religion.
There are claims about nature and claims about the world that are supernatural in origin, but they don't really fall into traditional religion or science.
Para-religion are a whole set of beliefs like paranormal beliefs, witchcraft, superstition, luck, things like that, that are similar to religion in it has some of these supernatural elements, but are not typically labeled as religion.
One of the implications of all the research that we're doing here is that religion and science are not tightly bounded separate entities that are in conflict. And if anything, it shows that there could be better opportunity for understanding and shared purpose.
I'm hoping that scientific communities will understand the variety of approaches to science that's present in religious communities and the varieties of religion that are out there, and the way in which members of those traditions really intersect with science differently. I've just been so honored to bring together a like-minded group of intellectuals to dig deep into the interface between religion and science, both in the US and globally.